towards the Canadian border and out of Alaska, at least for a few hours. So we had a night in the last decent-sized town before the border last night, and I know we showed you a few clips yesterday of the geese that we saw passing by, but we heard it all last night, and again this morning. The gaggles of geese are headed south, so I think we made the right decision in going south too. We're headed with them. So we're about, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 minutes from the border. Hopefully that goes pretty quickly, and then we're going to keep heading south down towards Haines, Alaska. So I'm not sure if we'll actually make it there today or not. We'll see how productive our driving is. We've been driving this bumpy road for a couple hours. We made it back to Kluane Lake, and I just wanted to show you guys the scenery since last time we filmed. I only had my cell phone.
Yeah, and last time we came through here it was snowing. There was probably 3 or 4 inches of snow on the side of the road. It was icy, and we were stressed. I was at least driving.
Yeah, I was a stressed passenger.
Yeah.
We just came past actually a flipped over semi, and we're wondering if that was from around the time we came through. So I don't think that was here when we came through the first time.
Yeah, and now it's up to about, I don't know, 45 degrees or so. And all the snow has melted off from, I guess, about 2 weeks ago now. But I'm sure this road will be rough again here in the next 48 hours whenever it starts snowing. But sure got some good views now. The color of the lake is beautiful. And we can see for miles and miles and all kinds of mountains and everything. So much more relaxing this go around.
Yeah, definitely glad we're coming through before the snow hits again. When we drove through this area the other day, we thought all of this over towards the mountain was ice, and that it was part of the lake that was just already frozen and covered with snow, but I'm not sure how well you can see. It doesn't look like it's totally water. I think maybe some of it's dried up. The landscape sure does look different today. It still is absolutely stunning. The sunny skies turned to rain and fog as we neared the U.S.-Canadian border. We made it into Haines as dusk was setting in and found a nice spot along the water. It was beautiful, but between the heavy winds, the pelting rain, and the crashing waves, Tyga and I didn't get much sleep. I think we were both a bit worried the roof might give way. With little change the next morning, we headed into the forest hoping to escape the wind. We're gonna find ourselves a hike with the little buddies. It's raining, but they were adamant they were ready for a walk. So we'll see how it goes. So we're in Chilkat State Park. which is right in Haines, or I guess right outside of Haines. And we are headed back up to find a hiking trail. Just wanted to show you the road. It's very bumpy. When you come into the state park, actually even before you get into the state park, but the road that takes you here, there's a sign posted that said, "Road is not maintained. Caution." And there's definitely been a lot of potholes. Whoa! Oh my gosh. It's been bumpy, and this part right here, you probably can't tell, but it's quite steep. Nutty is not sure about it. But slow and steady. We should get there. Alright, we made it to the trail. It's very wild looking and very wet. So we have the cats. We might wait a minute to let them out though. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely a cool spot though. Alright, it's been pretty muddy. Oh my gosh. Are you taking a video?
No.
Ew! I almost fell in. So the cats are still in their backpacks, but we have some pretty cool views. Water is the ocean, and I don't know if you can tell, but between those two mountain peaks, there's a big glacier. Very cool. What do you think, Dee?
Pretty sights. Nice day for a hike. I'm glad it finally cleared up enough to where we could see a few things. It's been pretty rainy and windy and nasty the whole time we've been here, but
Oh my gosh,
starting to clear off.
So much. Tiger, what do you think? Just checking it out. We didn't make it much further before turning around. The trail only got muddier, and the cats weren't so into it. Neither was I. We have spotted some wildlife. Take it real slow here. Oh my gosh, let me just sit here. Oh. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to go past it, but just like maybe even go to the pull off. How cool. Got a baby. Mama just went in. Oh. Ah. Little baby Moosey and Mama. How pretty.
She's staring us down.
She says, "Get away from my baby." Wow. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we just saw a moose and a baby. So we're out this morning on our way to our first hike of the day, and we just came across a landslide area. So it's just on the side of the road. There's a sign that says "Caution Landslide Area." This looks like it was a pretty big one. How high up would you say that is?
I'd estimate about 270 67 feet.
To be precise. Yeah, we've seen some when we drove into Haines. We definitely saw some spots on a different road where there were some landslides, but this is by far the biggest one we've seen. Hopefully there wasn't a house here. It's not the most residential area right in this spot, so. But these people seem like they were lucky. My goodness, how scary. We found our hiking trail, and we've got the little buddies. Luckily today it's not so wet, so hopefully the trail will be a little bit easier for them.
Girl, Tyga. That was so good. She knows. She's pretty good at avoiding the wet spots.
Good job, little buddy. We've hiked to the water. The fog has mostly burned off, but you can still see it in the distance. It's very cool, but at least it's sunny. Well, we thought we made it to the end of the trail, but after looking at the map, we apparently got off track somewhere. It's pretty though. A little windy. The kitties aren't so sure about the water sound still, so they're back in their backpacks.
Yep. Yeah, Tiger got very nervous as soon as we came around the corner and she could see the water. She tried to immediately turn back and run the other way. So we're still working on that fear of water with her. But we're getting closer. She's not freaking out right now or crying or anything. So.
Yeah, and you could definitely hear the water from the trail, but maybe just seeing it too. So it's a little progress. How are you doing, Nettie? She says we better keep going.
Tyga froze in her tracks along the trail. She spotted a little squirrel up in the tree. She's on the hunt. Don't you climb that tree. Nope.
Alright, we're getting closer. I think. Have a couple views. That water is really moving. Going up a goat path. Wow, it's steep right here. Nuts. Woo! And well, it was slippery. Luckily all I got was a muddy knee. Made it up the hill. Continuing on.
many to start the
It's gotten windy and I think we've made it.
The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live.
So we're on our way back. See how long this takes. I'm not actually sure how long it took us to get out there.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon and the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a race. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today.
All right, we found our camp spot for the night. We're still pretty worn out from that hike. It was good, but long. I think it ended up taking close to 4 hours actually. But we have some good views, so we should be able to relax this evening. So we are camped next to Chilkat Lake, which wasn't too far, maybe 15 or 20 minutes from Haines. So just outside of town. It's really beautiful. Apparently when you come here in the summer, or maybe late summer, I guess, August and early September, you can actually see the bears in the water here catching the salmon as they come upstream to try to have their babies in this lake since it's right off the ocean. Pretty crazy. So I guess there's a lot of bears around here. We still haven't seen any bears, which I'm not necessarily sad about. But I guess we'll see what the night brings. Sure is beautiful though. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up or not, but up off that side of that mountain is a nice big waterfall coming down. So beautiful. I think David's gonna chop up some wood and we might just have ourselves a fire tonight. Alright, we got our fire going. We actually just saw an eagle fly right over. What a nice spot. I think we're going to cook on the fire tonight. Should be good. Getting in line for the ferry. We are in lane 5. Not too many people getting on today, at least with vehicles. So we're leaving Haines today and we're headed to Skagway. So our campsite from last night was only about 10 minutes from the ferry terminal. That's the right word, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just left there. It was a really nice night. We had a fire and you were allowed to forage for wood there. So David went and did some foraging and got to use his chainsaw to cut up some of the big branches that he found, and it was really nice. So we, one crazy thing from last night, we actually heard what we think was a landslide. We were out sitting by the fire and there was this crazy loud noise. It sounded like, I don't know, like a jet was firing up, and
yeah, it was super
it was
loud.
Wild.
Luckily, it didn't seem to be too close by. I didn't hear any trees shaking or rattling or anything, but definitely pretty wild to be that close to it. We've seen remnants of several big landslides in the area, so they do happen around here somewhat frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty scary. We neither of us knew what to attribute it to the sound to at first, and then after a while we're like, oh, that must have been what it was. So pretty nuts.
Looks like the ferry's coming around.
Yeah, it does look like the ferry's coming. You can see it off in the distance. It's headed this way. So soon enough we'll be getting on. We made it on the ferry and we came up on the top deck and we're starting to move. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're really high up there on the top deck. It's pretty nice up here. They've got a little section where they've got some infrared heaters, some lounge chairs, so we may grab a chair and grab a seat here after a little bit and enjoy the view.
Yep.
Got lucky with another day where it's not raining right now at least.
Yeah, a little bit of sun and blue skies. We'll take it. It was supposed to rain all day. All right, see you later, Haines.
Young and restless, a lampoon of youth. So who am I to really teach you anything? Do I know what's true? True for you. But at least I think there are some nuggets found along the way. Learn to wait for night to turn into day. Night to turn into day.
All right, and we are off the ferry on land in Skagway. Pretty exciting. It was a pretty quick ferry ride. It was only maybe 45 minutes to see some pretty views, lots of waterfalls running down the mountains. And the weather was pretty good. Still partly sunny here. Just windy. Alright, so we've made it to Skagway and we're just walking around trying to find some fish and chips for lunch. Unfortunately, a lot of things are closed, but at least it's pretty cute. Lots of little buildings. I'm sure in the summer it's booming with business, but not too many tourists right now. Pretty cool. fish and chips. We had some yummy, I don't know if I'd call it lunch. We had to wait until 4 because nothing opens in Skagway until 4 p.m. apparently, when you wait till this time of the year. So we had an early dinner and we left there. We were headed towards our campsite, which we thought we could figure out pretty easily. But we were driving down this road the other direction. According to the GPS, it said we would be there in 1 minute, and then what do you know? We're at the U.S. border crossing. So apparently we didn't have very good directions then. Luckily the border agent was pretty kind and gave us better directions. We did still have to show him our passports, but luckily we still had those out. So we're gonna try again. Good luck to us, right?
Good luck to us, yes.
But if your aim is straight, and if you're willing to wait, you're gonna get there. Wait and see.
A small wooden bridge. It's got the boards.
We finally found our way to the Daia Flats. We had hoped to spend a few days exploring the area, but the next day it started to rain. And it rained, and rained, and rained. And not just light rain or scattered showers. We're talking non-stop torrential rain with heavy winds.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And after 24 hours of deluge and no end in sight, the campers' canvas walls were soaked, and David was worried about aerial flooding.
This road is almost closed.
It really is almost closed. Oh my gosh, that water is rushing.
We had hoped to go to Klondike National Historical Park today, but after about 24 hours of wind and heavy rains, everything is very flooded here. Luckily the road doesn't seem to be closed. I'm sure it would be closed off if we couldn't get past, but when we came through the other day, this was just a sweet little blue river. And it is rushing muddy water today. So we're not going to make it to the park. It is what it is. Seems like a lot of the park might be flooded right now. We were officially over the weather. So we headed for the border in search of higher and drier ground.
But